You know, back in 1996, I'm thinking. About 1996. It was early in the morning, about, I'd say around 7:30. And my stepmother was getting ready for work. Her name was Kathy. And this was down in Florida. I'm originally from Florida. This was in Tampa. And Tampa's my hometown. And I woke up one morning while I was down there on summer vacation, because I was actually living in Nashville at the time with my mother, because she was a singer. My stepmother fighting with my dad, yelling at my dad. "I know what I saw, Tim. I know what I saw." You know, and me being a kid and, just coming down there for the summer, because I had only been there a few days, I was wondering what was going on. And my stepmother keeps going on and on and on about how she got out of the shower and she went to open the door and there was a black shadowy figure just standing there. And it just scared the daylights out of her, naturally. Who wouldn't be scared by that? And then she said it just disappeared. And I remember getting up later asking my dad what was going on. Because she had left a few minutes after that. And, my dad pretty much said the same exact thing that he told her. "Oh, whatever, nothing but a bunch of stupid crap." He said, "Don't worry about it." In fact, if I remember correctly, I don't even think he went into detail about it. He just said, "Don't worry about it. It was nothing, just some stupid crap." And my dad's kind of been like that always. Anybody who knows my dad knows, that's kind of his answer for everything. "Oh, what's that? Don't worry about it. Hey, what happened over here? Nothing. Nothing. Don't worry about it." Well, it was a shadow figure. And, my dad has always, at least outwardly, denied anything like that. But that was my first time ever hearing about a shadowy figure. That was back in probably 1996 on my summer vacation to Florida, where I'm from, to stay with my dad. And after that, my stepmother would keep telling me that she would see things happening that didn't make sense around the house. And she told me that when she, sometimes would look outside, a couple of times she said, "Hey, there was a shadowy thing walking around out there by the trees. How do you know it was just somebody and it wasn't dark?" She's like, "I'm telling you, it was darker than the trees. It was darker than the shadows. It was darker than dark. I mean, it was so dark that you could see it even in the darkness," which is pretty crazy. So I go back home and, just kind of forget about it all, because I hadn't seen anything. So I was like, all right, well, whatever. Well, years later, I'm living in Gallatin, Tennessee, which is a town northeast of Nashville. Used to be a small town. I think it's growing up now. But, we lived all over Nashville. So my sister is about 6 years old. This is probably 1999 now. I'm about 15, 16 years old. About 16. It's 1999. And my sister is she was born in 92, so what? She's about 6, roughly. 6, 7, whatever. She goes to get out of the bathtub. And the way our house was set up, it was a ranch-style house. The bathroom is a pretty good ways from, her room. There's the bathroom, the kitchen, the living room, and then her room was over here. And yeah, Victoria, if you're watching this, you know what I'm talking about. So my sister flips on the light. I was actually upstairs. I don't know what I was doing, maybe working on some artwork, writing something, writing music, whatever. Or just playing a video game. I don't remember. That was pretty much the sum of my activities on the inside. And she flips on the light, and then all of a sudden, Mom! Mom! She goes flying across the house. And, you know, I come downstairs. I'm like, what's going on? And my mom's freaked out, saying that she saw this shadowy figure. She said she flipped on the light, and this shadow thing looked at her and walked through the wall. And it scared the hell out of her, naturally. Well, the funny thing is that before and after this, and right around this time, my mom also said that she had been seeing this shadowy figure. I didn't really believe it. I was like, okay. Sure. I mean, it's just kind of hard to believe, that's all. Well, then my neighbor across the street, his name was Adam Cersei. Adam says, hey man, there was some shadowy figure walking from your house as the sun was setting, and he walked up to the top of the hill and then made a right and walked all the way down the fence line. And he didn't look human. Something didn't look right about it. And so, you know, that kind of freaked me out. Well, anyways, with all that being said, I forgot about all of this up until 2016. So 2016, I was living with my then girlfriend in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Well, you know, we were kind of rocky. We weren't really hitting it off. And, you know, I decided to spend some time in Florida. You know, we just kind of agreed to separate. We're trying to figure things out. And I go and I stay with my dad. Now, by this time, my stepmother had died. Kathy, unfortunately, died in a car accident in 2015. Day before my birthday, actually. And I stayed with my dad maybe a month or two, you know, working things out. Same house, same everything. And something happened where I had to use his bathroom in his room. He had a hall bathroom, and I don't know if someone else was in it or if he was doing some work on it. I don't know. My dad's a handyman around the house. He's always working on stuff, always. Well, I get out of the shower, and it's probably 11 o'clock in the afternoon, so it's daylight. You know, it's not really dark in there. It's not really bright in there either, but it's not really dark. It's about like it is in here. You know, it's a little dimly lit, but you get the idea. I go to open the door, and this shadowy figure, about my height, my size, and he's velvety looking. He almost looks like black velvet. He looks so damn dark that you can even see him, even despite any darkness around. You can see him right through the dark. In other words, he's that much darker than everything else. Dark. It scared the hell out of me. I opened the door, and he didn't even, it wasn't, you know how you see something and it comes out of the corner of your eye and it kind of darts out of the corner of your eye, but you're not really sure you saw it? Yeah, no, that was not like this. This thing was sitting here and looked at me, and I looked at it right in its face, and it jumped at me. Sounds crazy. Some of you are going to call me crazy. I know what I saw. This thing actually, when I opened the door, stood like that. Right here, about this close to my face. The door opened up like this, so I had to pull it open. And when I pulled it open, he went like that right to my face, and I said, "Oh shit!" And I slammed the door immediately, and I started praying. Now I'm a former Jehovah's Witness. I'm an ex-JADO. So, you know, my immediate assumption was that it was demons. Well, now I'm an agnostic. You know, I believe in a little bit of science, but I don't think that, you know, I don't think the material explanation of things completely sums it up either. I just don't think that the material explanation for the universe fully encompasses everything. But this thing jumped at me, and I know what I saw. This was not something that I saw out of the corner of my eye. It was literally something that jumped right at my face that made me slam the door and start praying. And like I said, he didn't have any eyes. He didn't have anything. He was a black silhouette that almost looked like black velvet. It was almost like he absorbed light. And there's a lot of theories going on for these things. I mean, some people say that they're demons. Some people say that they're interdimensional creatures. I really don't know what they are, but I can tell you one thing, they're real. I also have a friend who says he saw this thing too, or saw one of these things. He said that he was out one night with his girlfriend hanging out in a field by a drive-in theater, and, you know, they were being friendly and stuff, you know what I mean? You know, having some nice quality time, and said that this thing appeared and started chasing him and his girlfriend, and they took off running. So, you know, I don't know what these shadow people are, but I can tell you one thing. These are not the things that you see out of the corner of your eye that you wonder if something was there. If you see one of these things, you're not going to be wondering if you saw it. You're going to be like, what in the hell was that? And that's exactly what happened to me. And I don't know, I just felt like sharing that experience. Was thinking about it, been talking about it a lot lately, been looking up a lot of research on it, because, you know, I didn't really talk about it a lot because, I mean, I kind of thought I was crazy. Wondered if it was a demon following me and my family members around, because, like I said, my family members and friends keep seeming to see this thing, and then finally I saw it. And then when I saw it, there was no denial in my mind that this thing was real. I mean, just all those years they had been saying that they saw this thing, I finally realized they weren't crazy. And you guys are probably going to think I'm crazy until you see one of these things. But, yeah. Scared the daylights out of me. I mean, even talking about it now is really unnerving. It's scary. You see one of these things, it's scary. Anyways, that was my Shadow Man experience. And that was about all I had to say about that. Whatever you do, don't watch this video at night. See y'all later.